Brady, not just outstanding, but most outstanding, ×2 in the West. ×2, I guess, for 2 consecutive years. How does it feel?
Yeah, it's obviously a great honor, great to be recognized. Obviously can't do it without, my teammates, my coaches, coming every day to work with such a great group of men. That allows, me to go out there and play my best for them. And we have such a great work environment here where we're able to work together and to push each other every single week to be the best version of ourselves. And I also want to recognize, Bo and Berglund. They've both had incredible seasons, so definitely, they deserve the honor as well.
What's it like being in the spotlight, literally, and in this award in a team game? You always acknowledge teammates and coaches, but to be in the spotlight, is it awkward? Is it part of the job? Is it uncomfortable? Is it great?
Yeah, I mean, I think a little bit uncomfortable just because there's so much that goes into, if you're talking about myself, my success, right? It is, and it's not my success, it's our success. The success of my offensive line, of them going out there every single week and doing what they have to do, the receivers having to block on the perimeter, Buck allowing me to have those opportunities to go and get the ball in my hands 15 to 20 times games, whatever it is, to have those opportunities to be in a position like this at the end of the season. So, yeah, I think it's a little bit uncomfortable. There's a lot that goes into, obviously, one player's success. So, like I always say, it's our success. It's this entire offense's success. This award should resonate of how we work throughout the season. And when it's all said and done by the end of the season, when you look at numbers, that total body of work isn't just myself, but it's my offensive line, my receivers, and then Buck just doing his thing every single week and calling good game plan.
Your path to this award nomination last year versus this year, the same, different?
Yeah. I think when I look back at my season, this regular season compared to last regular season, I think I was productive. I think that's what I kind of want to do every single week is to be productive for my teammates. Obviously, I know when I'm productive, I think good things happen for this football club. So that was my thing, and just being consistent. Every single week. It's pro sports. It's hard to stay consistent, and I think the great ones, when you look back at people's careers, they were consistent. Not every single week, but every year they tried to stay somewhat consistent. So I take that obviously in great pride. Obviously, that's why I work extremely hard, obviously in season, but in my off seasons to continue this consistency up every single season. So yeah, I think there's some similarities to how last year went for me and this year as well.
Having said all that about teammates, there's a chance that you could be in Grey Cup alone. How badly do you want to make sure that doesn't happen? Yeah,
aside from all these awards, obviously this is great, but I'm worried about a Grey Cup. Obviously we know what happened in the last 2 Grey Cups, and I'm sick and tired of going there and losing the final game of the season. And so I got more motivation than ever. I know what needs to be done in the playoffs coming up in the West Final. I know what I need to do for us to have a great shot of winning, this game and going to the Grey Cup, and then ultimately you have one last game. You need to lay it all on the line there. And like I said, I'm sick and tired of losing the Grey Cup, and we need to go there and get the job done. And I need another ring, man. I need another ring.
You'll have BC or Sask here, West Final. I haven't dug into the numbers yet of who you did better against, but do you have a feel for one versus the other, how they compare?
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Obviously, it was good for us to get on the field today. Finally, after enjoying a little bit of time off, but getting back out there to get loose and maybe get an early feel on both opponents, right? Because we have no idea who we're going to be playing. But for me, it doesn't matter. Whoever's going to have to come here, you have to come here into a very hostile environment and play your best football to beat us. So obviously, we're very excited about that. We're excited about whoever we're having to face and the challenge ahead of us. They're 2 great teams. Obviously, they're in the semis for a reason. So we're looking forward to it, and I'm just jacked up for the West Final.
We know how big athletes are creatures of habit. Everyone loves their routine. We talked about this rest versus rust kind of argument. Do you have to do anything this week to feel that feeling on the weekend to hit the ground running next week, or what is this week about versus next week? Are they viewed together? Are they viewed separately? Like how do you approach that?
Yeah, I think I view it the same. Obviously, I think the way I approach every single week and attack games, every game is a big game for me. It's another opportunity to go out there, and to compete and to play at the high level and to show everyone, what you're worth, right? And so I think obviously the magnitude, you go into the playoffs, West Final, a lot bigger than regular season games. But I think if you stick to your process of whatever that is, whatever's been working for you. For me, I got a pretty strict, process that I've been sticking to from the start of the season to now that I'm going to continue to do, during my work weeks to prepare me for games. So for me, it all stays the same. Every game is important to me. Every game is a big game for me. And every game gives me an opportunity to go out there and to, like I talked about, proving that I can be the most consistent and dominant player every single week and continue that season after season.
What does it say that the second year in a row, obviously it's you, but a Canadian player has risen to the top, is up against, in this case, Bo Levi Mitchell's been an American quarterback in this league. What does it say about the Canadian talent in this league that, you're in the spotlight?
Yeah, the Canadian talent's been growing. I think you see across the league, every single team, they have their crop of Canadian talent, and they're playmakers, man. And you look at skill players now across the league that are just really elevating their games and playing at a very high level. Obviously, looking back at the other great Canadians before me that have played, especially at this position, they've kind of been leading the way, and I feel fortunate enough to be in this position now where I can kind of lead the way for the next generation. But I think you're going to start to see more and more Canadians. I think the coaching is getting better at the grassroots level, and I think training facilities. I think people in their off-season training, Canadians are just getting more well equipped at. When you talk about a football player and then opportunities to go down south and play, I think you're seeing a lot more Canadians going down there, and I think they're just becoming better football players. So I think you're going to start to see more and more Canadians, but it's obviously, I take great pride in, back-to-back years being up for an MLP award and being one of the best players in this league. Take great pride in that, and it's something that I want to continue to do while I'm in this league. And I know what I can bring to the table, and hopefully just get the younger generation to keep on following my footsteps.
Brady, you mentioned that you hated losing the last couple of Grey Cups. Does that kind of bubble to the surface again right now, or did you have that kind of feeling all year?
No, I think it starts to bubble now. I think, you really try to wash it as fast as you can. Obviously, you lose that Grey Cup, you go into the offseason, it's still kind of lingering in your head. And then when you start the season, it pops back into your head, and you need to kind of flesh and understand, hey, it's a new season, it's a new team. But then as you get into the postseason, it's already gone to my head, and I think the emotions that I feel for that is just, it's like an anger. It's getting to the final game and losing and understanding. I know the feeling of winning those big games and the joy that you feel from that, and then being on the other end of it and losing, it's one of the worst feelings in the world. So I think, it's been popping back into my head, and there's some sort of anger there. And all I got to do now is just put that anger onto the field. When I go out there on practice days, keep that in the back of your head to keep pushing you. Everyone's got bumps and bruises now, but it can get you, keep going. It can keep pushing you forward. And I think when it comes on game day, have that in the back of your head and just even run more angry and make sure that no one can stop you and get to that game and win it this year.
I know it's bye week, but what are the signs that you're seeing in there that this is playoff time?
I think being on the practice field today, it's getting a little chillier. Obviously not up to my standard. I wish it was a lot colder out there, but you hear some comments from some of the guys saying it's getting a little crisp out there. So it's that time of year, right? It's playoff football. Playoff weather is in the air. So guys are ready, man. I think being on the field today, just seeing how guys are locked in right now in this time of year, our defense is. I just get impressed with them too, just in practice, the way they practice and the way they fly around and make plays, and they make it hard on us as an offense. So it's good to go up against that defense every day, and it challenges us to try and be one play better every single day. Guys are locked in, guys are ready to go, and just excited to get this. I guess next week when we start preparing for our West Final opponent, just ready to get things going. And I hate waiting. I just want to get to the game already.
Did you see the attention that Zach's jersey got yesterday?
I did, yeah. Pretty cool, man. Yeah, that was. I I guess, yeah, worldwide kind of coverage there, not just national. It was making some noise in the U.S. too. So, yeah, it's awesome, man. More love for Bombers.
Thanks, Brady.
Thanks, guys.